Alright, so despite making two videos, one relating to my silver mirror covers and the other relating to an oil change, I have not made an updated video on the A4 outlining the changes that it's happened to it in the last probably 3 to 4 weeks, which is actually a significant amount of changes. First, most noticeably, most importantly, the rims, the Koya SF06 in a 20 by 9.5 plus 42 offset with a 255 30/20 Winrun R330 tire. What I will say is that the stance of this car is exactly how I wanted it. This looks amazing. The fitment is exactly what I wanted. It's aggressive as, looks awesome, but it's not where I'm scrubbing a ridiculous amount and having to roll guards, etc. The only thing I've had to do in the front is do the guard screw mod, which involves taking out the guard liner screw that is roughly at the position here and removing that tab. That's a very common delete to do in Golfs, and that just helps with front clearance. Now I will say these Winrun tires are cheap at about a quarter of the price of the Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, the Pirelli P0s, and the Continental Sport Contact 6s. They are a cheap tire. In saying that, they do seem to run wide. I've seen comparable tires on the same width rim with significant amount more stretch. So in saying that, I feel like I'm rubbing a bit more than I would have been, say I'd perhaps bought a better tire. So that makes me keen for the future where I do opt for a better brand tire. But for now, I just wanted to see how the Winruns would go at $140 versus about $480 Australian for the comparable high-end market tires. So in saying that, again, my stance is pretty well perfect. I'm really happy with the height and the look of these. The screw mod in the front and in the back, I have had to cut a little bit of the sound deadener out, and as well as that, file down the rear guard where it meets the rear bumper right in the center of the frame there. I took about 4 millimeters of material off, and that has really reduced the rubbing in the back. I got a feeling I'm not running the maximum camber despite asking for that at the alignment shop, so that's perhaps something I'll look at in the near future to help dial in the scrubbing in the rear, because since that screw mod, the front has stopped rubbing completely. Moving on from that, obviously one of my videos I previously made putting these mirror covers on. I have the S4/RS4 style mirror covers, and personally I'm not trying to replicate this as an RS4 or an S4 or whatever. I just much rather the silver. I did it to my R36, I've done it to this car, and I'll probably do it to whatever my next European car is if it doesn't come standard with them. I just like the silver look, especially now ditching the gunmetal rotors and going to these rims here. It just looks a really good match, and it really complements the wheels, the silver trim around the windows, and the now chrome front badge, which is the very last thing I have done to the car, is installing that, and as well the non-smoked headlights. The chrome accents just really complement the car strongly. So those are two mods I've done recently: silver mirror covers and a front chrome badge. As well as that, if we come around to the rear of the car, and I apologize greatly for the lighting here, you can see that my tail lights are now with a light smoke tint on them. You can see the color is still red. They are still plenty bright. However, they just look like less of an eyesore than what they do when they are standard. Really happy with that. They look a lot better, especially paired with the black badge and the S4 tips. And now that they're aggressive and the wheels are aggressive and the car's a little bit lower than it used to be, I have decided to put my carbon fiber boot lip back on the car. And let me tell you, this thing looks absolutely awesome. So what modifications are left, I can hear you asking? Well, first things first, my headlight bulbs. I mentioned in my original video, I had Supernova 6000 Kelvin HIDs. Now I've opted to go back to the standard globes, as whilst the low beam is much the same, the standard globes high beam is significantly brighter than the Supernovas. So for where I live, having high beams that are bright is very important. As well as that, I also drive in a substantial amount of fog, so my 6500 Kelvin LED fog lights will be soon to be replaced with some 3000 Kelvin yellow fog light LEDs. That's purely going to be for winter and purely for practicality use, because I actually need working fog lights where I live. So those are two changes. I'll make a video for both of those, actually outlining the install process as well as showing the results. And as well as that, whilst we're on the topic of lighting, you might remember that I previously mentioned about the Audi door logo lights, projector lights, that I did not like the look of one bit. Well, I've got a bit of tape over the projectors at the moment, purely just so they don't project and make me look like a... yeah, you get the point. I'm now waiting on a set of replacement housings with 6000 Kelvin LEDs, so it will literally just be a white light on the ground to light up puddles, pretty much as the standard lights were, just in a much nicer color temperature. I will ask that you excuse my dirty floor mats. It is winter here in Australia at the moment. I've also bought from AliExpress replacement pedal covers to replace the brake, accelerator and the spare footwell one in a silver pedal that just matches the interior trim a lot better. I think those black plastic ones that come standard in the A4s just completely cheapen the interior out. So again, I'll make an install video when they arrive. And I think for the final modification that's happened since the last video, the Dayton Ultimax 10-inch subwoofer in a custom enclosure in the boot here, powered by a DS18 amplifier. This amp is rated at apparently 2500 watts, which I doubt completely. Whether it's even half that, less than half that, all I need is 500 watts for this subwoofer, and I believe it is delivering it. The sound system in this car is the Bang & Olufsen sound system, with this tapping into the factory standard sub. This combination sounds awesome. I also have a fire extinguisher, as I've been watching Adam LZ's last videos, and that has motivated me to carry one for either my car or my friends' cars who also might be carrying fire extinguishers. But anyway, with that being said, that has been an update video on the Audi A4. Man, look at that fitment in the rear. It's just amazing. Wind run tires for the win. Anyway, so there it is. That's the A4. That's all of its updates since the last time you've seen the car. Now, what is coming in the near future? Again, I briefly mentioned the front headlight globes, the footwell, pedal covers, the under door lights. I eventually plan to change the suspension from SoloWorks to BC Racing, and I've just purchased an ECS tuning upgraded brake kit with slotted and drilled rotors and upgraded pads, which I'm hoping to option to ceramic to reduce the brake dust. Because if we have a look at my front wheel over on this side, you can see this is not even a week's driving and there is brake dust coated on them. So there it is. That's an update on the A4. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll be making plenty more detailed update videos as stuff comes to the car, and I plan to actually show the install process of a lot of my future modifications. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe to the channel for more A4 content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys later.